Hi guys, welcome back. So let's do the draw for the Lions shirt giveaway. The competition has finished. I'll do that draw in a minute. There's just a couple of things in the news in the slow build up to the Lions tour. I mean, it is slow and dragging. Not a lot going on, to be honest. But we have seen the Japanese squad out. And we see a lot of new faces. It's a big squad, but also the return of a lot of really well-known names as well from the World Cup. The likes of, well, let's pop them up. Michael Leach, the inspirational captain. Jimenez, the number 8, who was absolutely excellent, bulldozing, explosive, dynamic. And then one of the players who I thought was under the radar, possibly one of the best players in the World Cup, that's Lafayette, the outside centre. Loads of other great names in there as well. And the more I see this squad and think about it, the more I think the Lions have chosen this team to play because of the speed at which they play. Especially their ruck speed, the speed at which they basically recycle the ball and move it away with really crisp skills is possibly the way that they might want to play against South Africa to maybe negate their size. Japan do it to an extreme. They know they're not as big as their opposition, so this is the style they've developed, and maybe to a lesser extent this is what the Lions are going to try and do as well. Will they get anywhere near the Japanese ball speed? I don't know. Let me know what you think of that, but I think it's a really good matchup. I'm getting really excited about this match. There probably weren't a huge amount of choices for opposition considering who's actually touring the UK and Ireland this summer, but it is a good selection, so let me know if you're as excited for that game as I am. Moving on to news of the Lions squad members, well, there's not a lot of news, and that's pretty good, to be honest. Some players are playing really well. Certainly the likes of Sam Simmonds has continued to tear it up, breaking the Premiership all-time try-scoring record. That's not just for a forward, that's all-time. Definitely helps being in that dominant Exeter team. That's going well for him. But let me know of any other players that you think are really stepping up after their Lions squad selection. And also, not a lot of serious injuries, which is brilliant. The only major one I've heard of is Harris. Chris Harris has got a bit of a hand injury, but hopefully he'll be okay. But apart from that, it's looking pretty good, touch wood, at the moment. Another topic I wanted to ask you about and also give my opinion on is Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. Now, I've mentioned on this channel a number of times that I think that New Zealand Aotearoa has been the best domestic league I've seen ever almost, but you don't quite know until you compare them against another league. And here we've got a direct comparison against the Australian Super Rugby teams, and the New Zealanders are absolutely destroying them. Skill-wise, physically-wise, it's absolute destruction. They've won every single game apart from one which the Reds did manage to win, but that was possibly due to a large period of red and yellow cards, which they capitalised on. And when it went back up to 15, it was again back to the New Zealand dominance. So let me know if you think that's really bad news for Australia or particularly good news for New Zealand. I have mentioned in my previous video, I think New Zealand are on for a bumper crop of players, even slightly better than normal. Australia, are they going to struggle in their international team? Maybe not. I think the thing is, there's just not enough good players to put 5 top teams out in Australia, but there are in New Zealand. I think that's the main difference. When they distill it down to 15/23 players, I think Australia are still going to have a very, very good national team. We see it with Wales, maybe domestically their teams don't dominate, but when they distill it down to their best players, they are absolutely very good. So I think that's where they're at the moment. Should Australia have less teams, or is it just a little unfair that they always get compared against to New Zealand because that's who they play a lot? And finally, I want to talk about the South African squad that's going to be coming out this week on the 5th. Injury-wise, it looks like, luckily, most of their stars are going to be available. Their World Cup team is available to be picked if they want to, which is fantastic for the fans because they haven't seen their World Cup heroes in action. What a shame it would have been if some had been injured or some had retired and they couldn't cheer on their heroes at least one more time after that World Cup win 2 years ago. But I would be amazed if their team wasn't really mainly full of those stars anyway. I'm not sure anyone's particularly stood up above these guys yet. Certainly hasn't helped that they haven't played, of course. But for me, what's going to be interesting is what new players does South Africa bring in? as a guy following Northern Hemisphere rugby closely, which players from the Pro 14, the Guinness Premiership are going to be coming into that squad, and then who's going to make the cut as they whittle it down. So let me know who you think can make a charge, but so far I can't really see past their World Cup winning stars too much. Let me know. Okay, let's make the draw for the 2 Lions shirts giveaway. Thank you for everyone who's entered. Been a lot of fun. And I'm going to go really old school, and I'm just going to hold up the tablet to the camera. Okay, I wasn't going to show the winners on screen because there are emails and dates of birth there. Don't want to give away the details. But congratulations to the winners, which are Ben Woodhead and James Boyd Hill. I will get in contact and we'll get those shirts sorted. And let me know about any of the topics we've discussed today, and I'll catch you next time.